Hey, good morning. Welcome to probably the other side of the world. Bye. Get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah, man, these dogs, they'll bite you. Yeah, man, that blueberry VR. Yeah, we're having a nice little walk. It's a walk, actually. This is my walking pace. There's another one coming. Man, I got a pack of wolves. Hey, what's up, family? Big family. My name is Game, Game. And you? Where are you at? Nice to meet you, Aiden. That's cool. Where are you from? Or where are you coming from? Where are you logging on from? Oh, okay. Probably a lot like the climate here in Northern Thailand. As you can see over here, right? You know what that is? That is corn being grown. And that grows fast. But that's not for like human consumption, as far as I understand. It's for animals. Oh, thanks, thank you, bro. Super appreciate you. I mean, it's a tough game. This the YouTube thing, right? Do you have a channel? Do you have a channel? All right. Well, you might have one in the near future, whatever. But if you did, you could just give a shout out or whatever. Anyway, most people aren't awake right now. I mean, or they're just getting up because it's like the sun is coming up. So, like, for us, like walking is kind of like, it's nice as the temperature, but the thing is that at nighttime, the dogs take over. So it's not like the United States where dogs are like the population control or anything like that with the dog catcher or whatever. They don't have that here. Basically, just live and let live, which I think is great. But you just have to be aware that no, this is in Thailand, Northern Thailand. So you just have to be aware that the dogs they do run in packs, and they can be kind of vicious. So you do have to be on your toes. Like if you were like a child walking around at night by yourself, and it happens, the dog will take you, the dog pack will take, rip you to pieces. But fortunately, that doesn't happen that often. Another thing is that coming out at like 5 o'clock in the morning, right? Or 5:30 in the morning. It's right now the time here is 6. Right, coming out at this time is like 6 is a good time, but like before 6, you still have people who've been drinking all night or doing drugs or whatever, and I kind of worry about that sometimes. Not worry is not the right word, but just to be aware. I'm aware of that. Happy birthday to your cousin, bro. This is in Northern Thailand. We are in Northern Thailand, in the province of Phayao, just near Chiang Mai. We're not in Chiang Mai, but we're, just near there. So, this is really cool, man. I really appreciate you guys coming along for the walk with me. Now, you notice something across the street. They have all those wood houses over there, but generally, these wood houses are getting fewer and fewer because wood is very expensive to build with. So a lot of those old ancient architectures and stuff like that made out of wood, you won't see them anymore after a while because they're all replaced by concrete. Hey, Jacob, really super appreciate you, Oh yeah, check this out. You want to see this, right? This is a Buddhist temple, and right inside there, you go prayers with the monks, and yeah, man. I really love the way the Buddhist temple is called a Wat, W-A-T, right? W-A-T, Wat, and it always has some like intricate statues inside of it, kind of like the relief in probably like the frescoes and stuff like that in Catholic churches, and the stained glass and that stuff. So. Oh shit, that guy's going fast, bro. You see that? That guy is not stop. I mean, there's a bend coming up there too. I wonder if we're gonna see him later. Holy cow. That guy was booking it. Okay. Yeah, that guy was booking it, man. He's probably seen his girlfriend. Got to go back. I don't want to say that, but he's probably seeing his girlfriend and want to get back and home in time for the wife. But, probably not. Who knows what it could be? He could be off to the hospital for all I know. Right now, the time is 6:11 in the morning. Jacob? Where are you? Where are you coming from? All right, that's cool. Big fam. In life, when you get picked on about, you don't worry about it, okay? In life, people are going to be like that if you get bullied. Yeah, for sure, right? But you have to know how to deal with it too, right? And reacting to people is not the best thing. You want to respond. You don't want to react, right? That level, that emotional quotient, the EQ, you got to use it. Let other people go off the deep end emotionally. Because a lot of times people who bully people, They have mental problems. There's some sort of a deficiency or some sort of a problem in their own life, whatever, you know. The difference is though when the bullying gets too close, you know, like you don't know if you're in a threatening situation, and that's that's the fine line. That's a fine line. But generally, you could always use your surroundings. It's just like, are you alone versus not, being around a lot of people, right? So you just have to speak up if you're around people. If you're alone, you got to get away. Yep. Well, bullying is for emotionally weak people, in my opinion. Probably intellectually also. Who knows? Anyway, so check it out. You see, so I was talking about those wooden buildings, right? So on over here, right, you can see these buildings, and they are they're not wood. They're made of concrete, right? And pretty much like almost all the buildings, as we're walking down this stretch here, are going to be concrete buildings. Which is kind of interesting because I really like the wood buildings. I think most people like the wood buildings for the aesthetic purposes, for their look. But the concrete buildings stand stronger and longer and cheaper. I appreciate you, bro. I super appreciate you. Without you and other people, there would be kind of no reason to do it, It's like reaching out and a connection, I'm a Western guy. I'm from United States, but from New York. But I left a long time ago. I left, around in the mid-90s, and then after 2001, I made it permanent. No, I'm not tired. I gotta lose weight, Hey, Jacob, do you have a channel or do you just do the viewing? Yes, I like it here. I like some of the things here. I don't like everything, and I don't like everything anywhere. It's just sort of like, you got good and bad. So I guess basically you asked me if I like it here. So what are the good things? So let's make a list of the good things. Well, number one is the people pretty much mind their own business, and they're nonviolent people, for the most part. Right? What I mean by that is in the West, you have people who are going to be what's the word? In the West, you have people who are going to be in your face. I hope so too, bro. Hope so too. So the confrontational, like people more confrontational, more in your face, more like, kind of like look down their nose at people and stuff like that. Much more openly, So like here, basically, like nobody judges you, right? Or not publicly, So I like that because it's cool. I like the temperature, the weather is very nice, and the price. Right? The price is an amazing thing too, right? So basically you're going to get about 4-to-1 or 5-to-1. It used to be higher, but you get like for example, if I got a food, right? Like a rice dish with shrimp and vegetables and sauce inside of it, it's going to cost me about $1.60, $1.70, So that's good. I like that, and if you want cigarettes, I don't smoke, but people who smoke, they're like cigarettes. The cost of cigarettes here is about $2 a pack, which is a big difference back. We said, "Ooh, here we go, boys. These guys will rip you apart in a second. They're ready." You see that? I had a friend, he got mauled by dogs 3 times, you know. I mean, that's a very real thing here, getting mauled by dogs. You know, normally I would walk with like carrying a stick, but like, I don't know, I'm a pretty good air about myself, you know, like confident walk, and you know, I'm kind of big, and I can speak to the dogs too. I mean, they understand Thai language. I don't know if that makes a difference, but you just make a loud noise, they'll probably run away too. So look at this Rottweiler in the middle of the street. You see that? Yo, you think he's looking at me, man? He wants a piece. I hope not. Holy cow. Oh, there's a Rottweiler. Goes on his way. He looks like he's not too interested. Yeah, come on, boy. Keep it moving. All right, big fam, nice chatting with you. Yeah, publicly is a key word. You know, it's called having manners. You know, so like, that's the thing is like in the United States, with so many different mixes of social constructs and stuff like that, right? It could probably be a bit difficult, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen things in the United States that just like make my jaw drop. You know, like, are people really behaving like that? All right, brother. Thank you. Say hi to your cousin. Happy birthday. Dogs, you know, people scare me more than dogs, to tell you the truth. You know, I mean, I don't know. Swadee Cup. เอากันนอนครับผม ยายสบายดีหรือเปล่าดีมาก I got body suit. Yeah, so I learned how to speak Thai really early into the time. You lived in a small town. Yeah, so you know what dogs are capable of doing. Like in the city, you'll never see. Yeah, man, I could speak since like the second year that I was here. I made sure of it, you know, that you know, it's like I come to another country, I want to learn the language, right? Now, if you're in the United States and you say speak English, you know, you're going to get in all sorts of trouble there. But nobody said you can't speak multiple languages, but we all have one language we can communicate in. And a lingua franca here, the lingua franca here is Thai. So I learned how to speak it. And believe you me, my life improved so much. And I have so many more doors open to me than people who don't speak Thai. Right? Foreigners that don't speak the language didn't take the time. Even if you're like holidaying for like, you know, like a month or something like that, or, you know, I mean, you pick up a couple of words or something like that, you know, I mean, depends what your holiday is all about. You know, this is a main road. This road here that we're on, what's that? That's cool. Is it hard to learn? No, it is hard to learn. Well, it isn't. It isn't. But let me just say something about this road we're on right now. This road runs straight from China, right? So behind us, this way, is China. And if you kept walking up this road, you would get to the Lao border. And if you kept walking through that, which is not very long, the Lao border is very thin. I don't know how, maybe 10 miles or something like that. I don't know if it's 10 miles, but whatever. It's not a lot. And you would be walking into Guangzhou province in China. But the language isn't, you know, hard to learn. If you like okay, so when you say like, is it hard to learn a language? Let me put something in context for you, right? You speak English, right? And do you speak another language? The thing is, 76 billion people woke up today able to speak the language. So, Decup, 76 million people woke up today and can speak Thai language. And they come from all diverse learning curves and non-learning curves and stuff like that. Whenever you put up through that, you don't put up those boundaries in your mind whether or not you can learn something, because there's not a job you can't do on this planet, you know, if you really put your mind to it, you know. But the moment you say something's too hard, well, I think you're looking at it the wrong. I'm not saying that's what you're saying. That was what I used to do. Oh, it's too hard. I don't want to do it. But the fact of the matter is that nothing is too hard. It's a challenge. It's an opportunity to sort through these things. You know. So I was posting about the floods, right? Here's the canal, and this is like the end of the town here. And fortunately, this year they managed to get their locks right. You know, the canal locks. That's where they stop up water and stuff like that. And they got it right this year. But when they don't get it right, what happens is that there's a huge overflow, a flood that'll go over the steps. Right now, we would be in water. And yeah, that's what happens when the flooding goes wrong. And it has a chance to still do that this year, because the forecast has like the next 10 days, like, you know, heavy rain. But look at these blue skies. You wouldn't imagine there would be a rain cloud in sight. Yeah, so anyway, so here's the thing is that once I lifted the limitations that I put on myself, right, I was able to, you know, look at it from a different perspective, you know, like that. Like, this is something that I want to do, you know. It's not that difficult, right? It really isn't. But you have to, you know, allow yourself to learn. And a lot of people, sometimes, they fall into this category where they don't allow themselves to learn, right? Because they have, like, somebody told them they couldn't do something once. Like, you know, when I was a kid, my father used to tell me, oh, you're stupid, you can't do nothing, blah, 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 whatever. I believed it. I believed it for a long part of my life, and it didn't help me at all. But, you know, aside from, like, parents or people in the education field goes, right, as far as that goes, you wouldn't want to let anybody tell you that you can't learn anything, because a baby is born and it doesn't know anything, but it can still speak somehow, right? So everybody can learn. You just have to allow yourself to learn, like you'll learn a new trade or anything like that, you know. You just gotta unblock yourself. It's really important, actually, you know. Let's take a look at the water over there. It's looking all right. All right, and so there should be the morning market coming up, right? Pretty soon. It's different here, you know, the morning market, like, it started at like 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes earlier, and they lay out, meats, vegetables, fruit, and all sorts of stuff, you know, you could buy there that are geared around culinary desires. You know, if you want your food, you know, that's where you can go get it fresh. You can get a pig slaughtered, you know, hours before, whatever, chicken. And I know it's kind of a cringy subject, but when you talk about eating meat and stuff like that, but it tastes different, I'll tell you that much. All right, so there's this little guy. He wants some? No, he don't want any. Yeah, keep moving. That's the ones you gotta watch out for. They sneak up behind you and nip at your Achilles tendon. They'll sneak up right behind you, like, "Meep." Take a little nip. Don't break the skin or anything like that most of the time. Anyway. Oh, so yeah, am I able to read the signs too? So here's the thing. I can't read Thai. I know some of the letters. I never took the time out to learn to read and write Thai, which obviously would hugely benefit me, you know, and my interactions in this world that I'm in, you know, that you find yourself. It would hugely benefit me, but I didn't take it. I've learned through phonetics, right? So I did mostly phonetic learning, and then conversing with people. Once you're able to say, how do you say that, or what is this called, that changes everything. So I can say something like "Riekwa alai ni," means what do you call this here, right? So then all of a sudden, if you can do that, then you know you've built a base that you move up off of, and build your structure of your language understanding, which is pretty key. But you know, that's just me. You know, could do the more formal route. You know, I don't know. I mean, it's still not too late for me to learn to write. You know, I just have to want to, and right now I don't really want to. If I really wanted to, I would. Yeah, I decided to go. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. No, I just don't. I mean, what I mean by never, it's not too late. It's never too late, right? But I don't have any desire to learn to read and write Thai. I mean, it doesn't. It's number one. It's not a necessity for me. Speaking is a necessity. You know. You know. All right. So now we just looped around back to the main road. We'll just go back the opposite direction. And this direction, is there's a mountain range. There's a mountain range straight ahead of us. Once you go over that mountain range, you can't see it now, but oh, that's something I wanted to check out. Was this Christian? I guess that's going to be a church, right? I mean, it's a very small minority, but you have nuns and priests here, and you know they came up from. Yeah, it's you can't make any money here. I mean, it's very hard to make any money here. If you have a government job, oh man, you're doing great. But a lot of times people stay out and they'll work, 10 hours and they'll make $10. You know, that's a reality here. But of course, the cost of living is significantly different. So that person who makes 300 baht per day, I'm not saying that that's what they should make, but they're able to, they have no expenses other than maybe their phone, or I don't know. People seem to be making do as it is, so I don't know. It's not my business. I just know. I know that's about what you can expect to make, $10 to $20 a day. $20 a day, you're at the top, at the higher echelons of pay. That's a good day's pay. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys coming out for this morning walk with me. It's kind of winding down right now, so we're going to get to the end of the walk, and I hope to see you guys later and chat then, you know. But if you found this interesting, oh, there we go. Look, I wanted to show you the mountains. You see those mountains over there, right there, over there? Ah, that's beautiful. Over those mountains, on the other side of those mountains, is the main city called Chiang Mai. And we're on the other side of the mountain range. It takes about an hour and a half to drive over. You got to go up and down, up and down. It's very windy. And always has some sort of an accident on it. Hey, super appreciate it, bro. You know. And you know, do you have a channel yourself? Do you want to shout out? Why don't you give a shout out to somebody or anybody you want? Provided there's people to watch. There were sometimes 15, 20 people in the chat. So now I think it's just you. But that's all right. We're winding down, and I appreciate you, Jacob. And peace, love, and harmony, right? I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Anyway, have a good night.